also you got fathers who act like boys and leave their sons, and those sons grow up to do the same thing.
That's right.
You know, so that's also another spin on that. That's a rinse and repeat that Esau has. You know.
Yeah, but the greatest example is really Yahweh Shai and the Father, right? Because what did Yahweh Shai when he was here? What did he speak about? I'm here to do the will of my Father.
That's right.
So that's the occupation that he was going to do.
That's right.
And we know the law is really the character of Yahweh, right?
Yeah,
so.
that's right. And it says, verse 5, while he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies,
That's right.
and one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
That's why Yahweh Shai is going to come back and avenge.
Yeah.
So he's the avenger, man. Because we can't do shit. Remember, revenge and avenging is really for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So who's going to do the avenging? For the Father. Yahweh Shai is.
And it says, verse 7, it says, he that maketh too much of his son shall bind up his wounds, and his bowels will be troubled at every cry. And horse not broken becometh headstrong.
Yeah, so if you buddy with your son and you spoil him, you know, what is the saying? Familiarity breeds contempt.
Yeah.
Right? So he's gonna think he's your friend, and then that's what the scripture said. You're gonna bind up your wounds. Basically, you're gonna get him jacked up.
Yeah.
Because he might do you harm.
That's right. A funny story about that. When I first came to Canada, my dad was very hard-headed, and he would take us with the whip, and so that would teach us respect. My first white Edomite friends, I would hear them call their parents by their first name. Fuck you, Mary. Fuck you, Jokes. All this type of nonsense, and that would blow my mind. Because I knew if I were even to call my parents by their first name, I would have to sit on a pillow for a month. You know, but that's what happens when, you know, we come from the eastern hemisphere into the western hemisphere, and we learn the ways of Esau here. And even so, that has traveled all the way, especially these Elamites. When they come down here, the women, they come down here to look for freedom.
Right.
Right? To look for freedom out of, up under the thumbs of their parents. Because over there, they used to have the things, down in check. Women's were somewhat in order, but now it's rampant. Women out there are doing whatever they want, even over there, and when they come here, they go back. So Esau has his philosophy being transferred in and out of the city.
Everyone's just trying to drink the wine of Babylon.
It says, verse 8 or verse 9. That's verse 8. And a horse not broken becometh headstrong, and a child left to himself will be willful. And that's funny because when the fathers are in the house, the mother's too emotional to always keep her eye on the child, man. Like she's a weaker vessel. If she's having a bad day, best believe that child's gonna have a bad day.
Yeah.
With the father, he's supposed to regulate and keep that stuff in balance, in check. That's why, you'll hear mothers say you look just like your daddy. You just look like him, always acting like him, and that's them holding that anger. Verse 9. Conquer that child, and he shall make thee afraid.
That means to play. If you look up the word conquer, it means to play with him.
That's right.
Overabundance of playfulness, basically.
That's right. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness. Laugh not with him, lest thou have sorrowful with him, and lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end.
Hey, you know who gets that the most? Edom, man. Edom does that. When you see Edom trying to be strict with their kid and they start crying, they say, "Oh, okay, you can get it," and they try to play around with them. And then you see mass murder cases against families, massacre of aid, and it's because of all that stuff, man. They don't fear that.
Yeah. Because now if your parents discipline you physically, okay, now you have the option to call the police, to call Esau on your plan.
It's against the law.
Yeah,
It's
con.
actually against the law.
Con. So now Esau's taking away discipline. So now you're gonna have to use your words when your words can only go so far. You know, especially when they're you gotta put your hands on them. Especially when your kids are spending 8 to 10 hours a day in the school system, learning all types of nonsense. Then coming back home and try to display that what they've learned on you.
Because they learn it from the teacher,
Kind.
and then they learn it from those other students.
That's right.
Badass kids.
So now you're fighting an uphill battle because you're not the only parent to your child. TV is a parent. The friends that they're with is a parent.
Instagram,
The Instagram, Snapchat, the teachers at home. You know, you go to parent-teacher interviews and the teacher's all up in your business. Your son's not doing too good at school, that must be coming from home. What's going on at home? You know, so Esau has his hand in everything, man. I think that's roughly paraphrasing the scriptures talk about, woe to them that give suck in these days. You know, to have children in times like this, man. If it happens, it happens, but to willingly have a child in this time means you're not in your right mind. Because you're not understanding things, you know? And it says, verse 10, laugh not with them, lest thou have sorrow with them, and lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end. Give him no liberty in his youth, give him no liberty in his youth, and wink not at his foolishness, at his folly, slacking. You know, when your kids are young, that's when their mind is at that absorption age. They're like a sponge. And kids are smart, man, because they're simple. So they see everything. It takes one screw up with you for your kids to take that in and for that to manifest when they get older. Especially when you and your woman are not in the same agreement. You're here establishing this kind of law, and your child goes behind your back to talk to the mother, and the mother's like, no, you can kind of do that. That's already confusion. You know?
Yeah, so like, can I say something like that video that we saw when the Land Trevor dancing with a homo, and as soon as the dad started whooping his ass, who jumped in? The mom. You see that? The mom jumped in trying to put her hand, the man's getting disciplined. Why is she talking? You know what I'm saying? She should be happy that the man disciplined his son, but she had to put her damn hands in, man.
It goes back to the women's our enemy.
Yeah,
man. They're too emotional and too prideful, man.
God.
Back in the days, man, the ancient days, women wouldn't even look men in the eye.
God.
Because they understood. Now, a woman will not only look you in the eye, she'll actually take her hands upon you.
God.
And then call the police and do all types of things. Then make you pay child support. Because now they understand that Esau's on their side.
That's right.
You know, and women, all they do is follow the source of power.
That's right.
You know? Verse 12. Bow down his neck while he is young.
That's right.
And beat him on the sides while he is a child.
That's right.
Lest he wax stubborn and be disobedient unto thee, and so bring sorrow to thine heart. Chastise thy son and hold him to labor. Yo, I know bare youth that don't have jobs until they're about 20. When you should be working young, man.
God.
Young. Because that stuff teaches you discipline. You know? When I was 12, my dad made me get a paper route and made me do it in the winter.
That's right.
Well, that built diligent character, so that when I went to school, I could pay for my own things, man. But now, you know, everything's all lackadaisy for your kids. I don't want them to work too much. He needs to focus on school. He needs to focus on this. When everything that they're learning is nonsense anyways. You know, you spend how many years in school, and then you spend how much money for school just for a small chance to get a job. It's not even a guarantee. And then you're you're in debt for almost the rest of your life to pay off a school that you don't even have a job based off of. So what's more important, work in the field or going to school and paying for school to learn vain philosophies?
It's really having your own business, really.
Right.
God.
Because you can work for someone, you're not gonna always be fucking broke, you know?
Yeah.
But if you look at what's his name, Jacob, right? He worked for 7 years, but after 7 years, but after that he was rich, right? He was well off.
That's right.
In this society, you'll keep working. Like what? What you got for me? You know, it's like it's a waste of time.
That's kind of slack. I was just gonna say that's why, you know, it's hard for people to retire,
Yeah.
because everything they work for is really nothing. You know.
Well, the reason why is because the currency's debt notes. It's not even money. You're literally trading in debt.
Yeah.
Hey, and on top of that, they're making plans to get rid of the pension plan anyway. They ain't even trying to give you that.
Make you work forever, man.
Yeah, literally.